is this. We're gonna actually go over our TTP, which is our tactics, techniques, and procedures that we have for our team. But we are not gonna cover the advanced stuff because that will be on no time. But the idea is to actually have these trainings more often. So if the guys are interested, we can actually host this more often and then start bringing more advanced stuff and etc. But tonight, what we're gonna focus is on the basic TTP that we usually, go over with guys that are regular in our server. And the reason for that is to make you a better player when you play in our server. Because I mean, the way we design the server here with the AI placements, with the CQB that we are always looking for in the server, it's a bit different, and we don't mind if you know different doctrines from other servers, or even if you have actual background. But what we're gonna teach here is the stuff that we found useful for us, right? So it's literally what we do to some extent. So basically, what I'm gonna go over tonight is, I don't mind if you don't know any of these terms. We're gonna teach everything, but we're gonna go over some fundamentals, and then after that, we're actually gonna do some demonstration, and then after that, we actually do like a run in the kill house, in the shoot house, and then if we still have time, we can actually run an entire mission. But the last part, it might not happen due to time. Okay, so my good friend and also team member Reiner is gonna help us out tonight, and let's get going. Okay, questions actually. So, which one of you guys have any, CQB training, at least, basic stuff, like single stacking, split stacking, stuff like this?
Yeah, I know this.
Once I had a minor training in another server.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Uh,
Um,
One question.
yeah,
Can I go change my outfit? Quick, will be quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Me and Wild to know playing.
Yeah, that's fair.
SWAT, so
I don't have it on this
there's
server, but
something a bit too.
I do have it with an Arma group that I play with regularly, and they do it very American Army style. Because some of them are vets and shit.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, what we do is this basically. We don't mind if the person has training or if the person doesn't have training, because everything. Of course, a lot of the basic stuff will most of the time be either similar or will be literally the same thing. But we work a type of CQB in the server that there is some realism to it, but at the same time, it's something that we found out to be useful, for the limitations not only of the game, but also for what we are trying to achieve for our team. So basically, the guys that play here before, you notice that we always run things at a slow pace, right? So most of the time we run things at a very, very slow pace with just some very exceptions that we run. Stuff like if you want to do some bounding, like someone needs to cross and then you're gonna cover, like give like provide even so suppressing fire for the guy, etc. But most of the time I'm gonna be like walking at a slow pace in the server. So because of that, we designed the whole thing around that. So I'm gonna actually go through the basic fundamentals again. Just everybody's gonna be on the same page. So first thing I'm gonna talk about is that it's very important to us that when you are in the server, we almost never assign roles. So I'm almost never going to give you a role of a point man, of number two, or wingman, or whatever you want to call it, third man, fourth man, fifth man. The idea is because in our TTP, in our CQB that we do here, we always keep things in a rotation. So the idea is to always keep things rotating to an extent that eventually you'll be the point man, and eventually you're gonna be the last man, and eventually you're gonna be the third man, or the wingman for the point man, or second man if you wanna call it. So it's important that everybody knows what they're doing at all times, no matter the position you find yourself in, because it's kind of impossible. for when it comes down to room clearings to always have one guy as a point man, because eventually you're gonna have to rotate. Otherwise, you're probably doing something wrong. Reason why? Because sometimes you're gonna make entry in a room, two men made entry in a room. One thing that we do in the server is we always have a wingman with you no matter what. So no matter the type of room you're talking about, you're always going to clear that room with a partner, with your wingman, at all times. Even though I know that some maps here are quite small, but most of the rooms in this game, I would say 99% of the rooms, they have enough sides for at least two operators to get inside the room. And if you guys play here for very often, you'll notice that a lot of the AI placements that we have is literally to force you to clear with a wingman, because we sometimes place like AI in two hard corners, like left and right. So you're kind of forced to have a wingman to move inside the room with you to actually clear the hard corner with you, right? So he's gonna clear the hard corner on the right, and you clear the hard corner on the left side simultaneously. Otherwise, one of the guys is gonna get shot. So the idea for that is to force the players to always have, backup. No matter what type of room you're talking about, no matter how many people you have with you, you always work a room with a guy, with a wingman. The last thing about this concept is this. Something that we do is the last man you have, the tighter the stack it has to be. So say that is only me, Reiner, and Winter, for example, right now here. And we need to clear, let's say, an entire room, but without exposing the last guy in the back by having the last guy holding security outside. So what we're going to do is basically this. The three of us are actually going to make entry in that room. Reason why? Because the last man, which is going to be the third man, he won't be able to pull security outside because it's going to be way too exposed. Of course, there will be exceptions, like say you're walking in a hallway and there's literally nothing behind you and you know 100% there's nothing there, only things ahead of you. So yeah, the two guys can make entry and you can just sit in the hallway and hold. But most situations in this game, what we try to do in the server is to always keep everything together in a way that you're only gonna split up, only gonna pull security if you have enough men to do that. If you don't have enough men to do that, it means that not only you cannot do it, but also means that you need to keep it together. You need to have the guys actually working together at all times. A good map example for that is the tanker. So tanker, most servers, and we do this as well. If we have like say 5, 6 people, we always have people watching those staircases, right? As the rest of the team clears the floor, right? So that's only efficient when you have at least 5 guys, at the very least. Otherwise, you won't be able to actually pull security because 2 people are gonna have to watch the stairs, one watching up, one watching down, and then most of the time you're gonna have also one guy at least watching the hallways, as a two-man team is gonna start clearing room by room. Right, so it's only possible when you have enough team, but say you're down to 3 men, 4 men, we never do it that way then. We always keep a close stack to the extent that 2 guys are actually going to move inside the room and the other 2 men are either going to pull security on the hallway just outside the room, or they're going to actually make entry altogether inside the room as well to avoid, any type of exposure. So I know that this is just a game, and welcome, Beige. I don't know if you're here, if you're spectating. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Beige is another team member. All right. I know that things are different in every server, but like I was saying, it's something that we found out to be useful for us in our TTP. Okay. So the next thing is this. Before we start talking about room clearing, single stacking, double stacking, there's another thing that is important that we all grasp is I'm not gonna go into formation training, not right now, but let's just talk about the single file formation, which is a formation that we do most of the time in this game, especially in CQB. But it's very important to know a couple of things about single file. So Reiner, if I can have you just facing your left side. Nice. Now just pull your gun out. Keep your gun up. Yeah, just turn a little bit around on my laser. You're gonna see that sign over there. Nice. Okay, so one thing that we do in the server that is very important that we all grasp is the idea of CQB, which we call look for work, right? So basically look for work means that I'm always going to be looking for work. I'm going to be looking for threats. And the most important thing is I'm going to be covering literally the weak size of my man next to me. So the man in front of me, which in this case is going to be my point man, because I'm his second man, I'm going to be covering his weak size, right? So basically now his weak spots are going to be basically on the right side and also, of course, on the left side over there, and of course on 6. But if we have the team, everybody will be able to cover that, right? Say that we have 4 guys, then I'm going to be covering right side, third man can be covering left side, and last man can literally be covering our back, our 6, right? But not always you're going to have that. So it's when the idea of looking for work starts, because even the point man having to watch 12 all the time, it's kind of impossible to be doing that. Even though you're scanning that 12 o'clock sector all the time and walking forward, sometimes it will be impossible for the point man to keep his gun, his muzzle at that direction. Every now and then he will have to turn around because maybe he spots something that the guy behind him won't be able to spot because of the direction, and he's literally the first man to spot that. And when things like that happen, it's important that we always look for work. So if you're behind a point man, you will look for work by basically paying attention at what he's doing. So say that Reiner, for some instance, he had to move a little bit to the right and keep his gun on the right side. If you can do that for me, Reiner. And then say that he did that. So without exposing, for example, that 12 o'clock, me being his wingman, I'm going to have to find a way and to adapt to Reiner and actually watch his weak spot, which is going to be now his 12 o'clock, right? So being his wingman, I'm going to have to find a way to not only get in front of his muzzle, but also to get some distance from Reiner, that I will have that 12 sector available for me. So situations like this, I'll just move a little bit kind of online with Reiner, and now I'm scanning that 12 sector for him without any exposure, and I'm still covering my man because he had to address something on the right side for some reason. He had to literally turn around for some reason. So even though it's not very practical what he just did, but it's important that I'm looking for work, so it means that I'm going to adapt to whatever he did. Even if it's a mistake, I'm going to adapt to what he did. Because in most times in CQB, even if you have like a perfect SOP, no matter what you have, no matter what team you have, you will have to adapt to the man next to you most of the time, right? Because there will be situations that something crazy might happen, and maybe the point man he's gonna have to do something completely opposite, maybe like turning completely around like this and then watching that side. So if you're behind him and you're still watching that, right? I mean, you have to find another angle now. You have to literally look for work. You have to literally, try to still cover him and cover his weak side instead of getting into an argument with the point man like, hey man, you cannot watch this direction. Keep watching that 12 o'clock. I'm watching this already. Because I mean, in the meantime, as you're having the discussion, this argument, you might get shot, right? So you have to adapt to him. You have to find a way to just, adapt to the whole situation. And then after that, if you do a debrief, you can actually talk about all the mistakes and what you should have done and yada yada. But it's important to know that when you're out there on the field, you don't waste your time talking about these things. You don't have an argument, a pointless argument. You just adapt to the guy. You just try to still be efficient. You still cover him, even though you know that what he just did, it was a mistake. But you just adapt to the whole situation. It's the same thing about room clearing. When you make entry in a room and say the point man, he decided to do a button hook left side, but he decided to kind of stop in the fatal funnel. He crossed a point on the return, but he decided to stop a little bit. Then he moved, and instead of committing to the left side, he decided to commit to the right side. It's terrible. He shouldn't be doing that. But if you're his wingman, you're going to have to find a way to just adapt to the mistake he just and get yourself inside the room and find a way to be as efficient, cover the point man, clear your hard corner, and clear the whole room with him. So this is the kind of CQB that we do here. I mean, we have all the techniques. They all look nice, but when it comes to the actual gameplay, we all have to realize that sometimes we are going to make mistakes that the guy next to you, he'll have to adapt to your mistakes without, shooting you in the head, without shooting behind you, without getting you killed. He'll have to just find a way to actually still be efficient, even though the whole thing was a mistake. Okay, so Reiner, if you can face that again. So the last thing about this that is important for us to know, not only looking for work, but also it's important to know this. So say that we are moving in a single file formation right now. Reiner is in front of me, and say that there's a target on that door right now on his 12 o'clock. Who should be engaging the target right now? Should be him or me?
Yeah, point man.
Yeah, point man, exactly. Say that the point man is struggling a little bit with the target, and I need to also get into action right now to assist my point man. How should I do this? Should I just get here and start firing from this direction? Or
Um,
should I actually create some distance
Create
Distance.
it.
yeah, sometimes you don't have
and
the
say,
time for the distance.
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes not.
The muzzle before flash. That's the point.
yeah, exactly. So situations like this, if you have the time, of course, to actually create this distance, to have the muzzle before flash, to actually get into an online position with him, you do it. But if you don't have the time, it means one thing and one thing only: do not engage. Just let the point man handle it. Do not engage at all. Even if the point man is taking fire and he cannot engage, I mean, I don't know, he needs to reload, he has switched to his sidearm, and he's running out of ammo on his sidearm already. It's way too many of them. I find yourself a way to engage those targets, but do not engage like here or even here, even if you are 100% sure that you can take out the threat without the point man moving in front of you. Why? Because we do flinch, and this is actually a human natural reaction. We flinch. So Reiner, yeah, exactly. He might start firing his weapon and doing this. It's not ideal. You shouldn't be doing this, but it happens. Sometimes you might even panic and do this, or sometimes not even that, but you're trying to just get a better angle on the target, so you're just moving like this because the target's going behind cover, so you need a better angle. So by the time you do this, there could be a highly chance that if I'm shooting behind Reiner right now, like on his right side, he's gonna move in front of my gun, and I'm gonna shoot my guy in the back. So this is why you have a thing called spacing. So this is why we also have the muzzle before flash, to avoid any type of casualty, to avoid having a teammate shoot another teammate in the head because the guy flinched, and then you have the unfortunate event of shooting the guy in his back because he ran in front of your muzzle. Because the thing is, Reiner right now, he's got no idea at all about what I'm doing as a second man because he's focused, right? He's engaging that target on his 12 o'clock. So at this point, Reiner has no idea. Even if he starts using the free look, he's got no idea what's happening behind him. It's not his responsibility anymore. It's not his priority anymore. His priority is the threat on his 12 o'clock. So if he starts flinching like this and he gets shot in the back, it's not going to be Reiner's fault. It's going to be literally my fault because it means that I am doing something wrong, which is I have to let my guy work. I have to let my pointman work. And if he needs to be assisted, I need to find a way to move online with him, get some distance from him, and then also start engaging a target. I need to literally align with my pointman. Why? Because now, say that I start flinching or we start getting close to each other. We're gonna get to a point that we're gonna be like shoulder to shoulder. It's literally impossible for us to friendly fire each other because we are online. Both of our muzzles are not like connecting, are not like in front of each other, so we cannot even engage each other. Right? So this is why we have the muzzle before flash. This is why it's important that we always need to align ourselves with the point man if we also want to engage that threat. I've seen happening in the server a couple of times. You know, a guy came around the corner. The second man was behind the point man, and the second man started firing and literally shot the point man and shot the AI at the same time. And then said, "Yeah, man, the AI was gonna kill you. That's no excuse at all. That's literally no excuse, and this is something that we do not accept in the server at all. Like somebody shooting your back just to shoot an enemy. It's something that we just do not tolerate that. And the reason is this: if you're the first man, not only you're the first man to enter a threshold, to enter a door, but you're also the first man to die. This is why you're the first man. And sometimes the point man, being the first man, you're gonna have to take one for the team, and that's okay. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Just like in real life, sometimes the point man we'll take one for the team, and sometimes you will have to take one for the team to actually keep the guy in the back safe. Especially when you're moving, say, in a close, tight hallway, in a single file formation, there's no space to move like, I don't know, like in a double column, right? So you're just moving down a single file formation, and then there's a guy with, I don't know, an AK pouring down rounds down the hallway. You don't have time. Sometimes the point man, we have to take the shot. We just have to take, we have to get shot. Once the point man goes down, that means that now the wingman can actually engage, because now you have space again. Because Reiner, say that Reiner got shot, Reiner is down, now I can actually return fire as well. But if I don't have space, if I cannot move online with Reiner, it means only one thing. I just have to trust my point man, let him handle it, and if he gets shot, well, that sucks. Now is my time to actually try to take out the threat. Or sometimes he's gonna get shot and you're gonna get shot at the same time, and it's part of the game. All right, questions? Anything you guys wanna talk about so far? Yeah, go ahead.
It's just that I've seen it because I haven't really like it's one thing that I have seen that isn't practiced in this server, which kind of threw me off the first few times I played because Ground Branch is relatively new to me, but I have been doing Milsim for quite a while, and that is like calling your breach and calling your stack. That's not really done in this server. So sometimes it can get a bit more confusing, especially when breaching.
What do you mean, like calling the breaching? If you can be more
Like
specific.
if I'm up on that door over there,
Take flashbang and
yeah,
Oh
basically like
yeah,
if someone
yeah.
stands on the door, they
this
say
this
stack up
thingy.
on me. Second man says stacked. Then the point man says breaching left or breaching right, and then the stack moves forward like that. And also
Uh,
the hallway clearing isn't really like exact. Like hallway is much better, but the stack and breach is something that I've seen isn't really done.
okay. Right. So you mean like, so you're stacking and then like there's no non-verbals about, I don't know, like asking for a flashbang, or when you make entry, like people are not sure the direction they should be going. Is that what you mean?
No, like the point man usually doesn't call like which direction the point man will be going. Like usually it's like point man goes right, like reaching left, reaching right.
Oh, okay.
Other person goes opposite. So like the entire stack is aware what direction they're
Yeah.
supposed to be going as soon as it's called before they enter the room.
Yeah. So if you ever hang out with my team, we never do this because basically it's in the TTP, right? So we never talk about like, because I mean, even though it's a game, but we almost never talk in a stack. We try to keep it down every time we stack to avoid wasting time and talking. Even though the enemy they cannot hear you, but we kind of play sometimes the idea of the role play that you shouldn't be talking when you're stacking. And it's kind of funny because in Ready or Not, I love that game. But if you play with the AI, you're always giving commands to the AI, like yelling,
Yeah,
like
yeah, but not just that,
open flashing.
that
But
because
yeah,
the armor thing I was mentioning earlier, because that it's
yeah,
like hours of that, so it threw me off a lot when I joined the server.
yeah, yeah. I understand. So the reason why we don't talk is because of this. Okay, so let's actually move on and start talking about single stack and double stack, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly why we don't talk about this. Okay, I'm gonna move and start talking about a double stack. So if I can have Reiner with me here, so we're gonna do a double stack. So most of the time in this game, we don't do double stack in the server. If you ever play with the members, the reason is because of the threshold, also walking in front of the door. So every now and then we do a double stack, but especially when you're coming from the outside like this, and then you have enough time, you have enough spacing, we usually go for a double stack. But if we're coming from one side of the door, especially in a hallway, we avoid most of the time to walk in front of a closed door. Even though I know in this game they are very limited, they're not going to put rounds through the doorway, but still we don't like that idea that much, so most of the time we single stack, but will be later, and that's also not an obligation. So from a single stack right now with Reiner behind me, I will talk about non-verbals after, but I'm just going to talk about single stack and double stack right now. So before we get to what you were talking about, what's your name again?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy, yeah. So before we get to that point, we're just going to talk about some very basic things that I know this is going to be sounding very basic, but trust me, every time I join the server, I still see this happening, but I cannot, force the public to get this right because it's just a game. It's not real military, but we usually do a debrief after that to try to teach people to stop doing that. So on a single stack right now, so I'm literally the point man. I have my wingman with me, which is going to be Reiner. So say that I need a flashbang inside a threshold right now. Should I be the one doing this?
Nope.
No.
And why is not?
When a
Doing
bad guy
because
You
it
can
is
get shocked.
come out, you're dead.
Shot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So single stack like this, always have somebody else putting a flashbang in there for you. Why? Because of the exposure. Because if I decide to pull the pin of a flashbang right now, I'm gonna expose myself. I'm gonna expose the whole stack. Right? Being the point man is also my priority to keep the stack safe because not only I'm the first man in the door, but also I'm literally the guy who's got eyes inside the threshold right now. So it's my priority to keep watching that. So I have to be the one asking for a flash, and somebody else is gonna have to provide me a flash. Either the second man or the third man. I know some SOPs gonna have the third man doing that for you, but since in ground branch you can literally put a flashbang that quick and then switch to your primary rifle this fast, I have no issue having the second man doing that. Hey, Beige.
Hey
Hey.
guys. Hi.
So in a single stack formation, the point man never have a flashbang going in. Always the second man or the third man, or yada yada. Also, we almost never go down the whole stack, which means that if your wingman on a single stack, your second man doesn't have a flashbang. Yes, you can ask for the third man to squeeze a flashbang in, but if you have 10 people, never go down. Yeah, a fourth guy to have a flashbang, and then the fourth guy says no. Hey, fifth guy to have a flashbang. Fifth guy says no. Yeah, but the sixth guy he has a flashbang. So the guy in the single stack, all the way behind here, he's gonna have to leave his position in the stack to join you in the front now to actually squeeze that flashbang in. Do you see a problem with this? So if you don't see a problem with this, the problem is basically not only you're repositioning the stack, because by the time you're stack, most of the time the guys in the stack, they're going to be looking for work as their stack as well, especially if you're out in the open like this, in a place like this, right? So the guys in the back, they're going to be, one guy's going to be literally watching six, maybe one of the guys, maybe the fifth or sixth guy is going to be watching that threshold over there on the Charlie warehouse, green warehouse. So you cannot ask for that guy to now drop his security to join you in the front here to get you a flashbang. So times like this is a situation that we also do in our SOP, which means that if you have to go down the stack to ask for a flashbang, suck it up, make entry without a flashbang. Just do it. Go without it. Point man with the wingman, make an entry, try to do your best there, clear the room, and that's it. Without having to ask all the way down the stack to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth guy, even the 10th guy, because I've seen people asking, like the guy, I actually played in a Milsim server one time, and out of respect for the server, I'm not going to say the name, but I was literally the 9th guy in the stack, and I had to be the one moving all the way to the front of the stack to get a flashbang in, because all the other 7 guys, they didn't have a flashbang. And by the time I did that, a guy got shot in the back, because I had to be repositioned, and then the other guy had to take my place as the last man watching 6, and then it was, enough time for us to actually get shot in the back. Hey, Energy.
Hey.
So this is why it's important that we never reposition the stack. We never change people's position, because most of the time when you're stacked like this already, it means only one thing, that you have to be ready to make entry. So you shouldn't be wasting any more time. This is also the reason why we never talk about, I'm gonna go right, you go left, third man, you take center, stuff like this. We're gonna do a limited penetration. We're gonna go to our points of domination. I'm gonna run the rabbit, whatever. So we never talk about this because we don't want to waste time, and also because we have a TTP that literally teaches that no matter the room shape, how you're gonna actually address the room shape. If it's a corner fat, if it's a center fat. So talking about single stack now, just to conclude what I was saying. So on a single stack, say that I'm gonna make entry without a flashbang or even with a flashbang. I have two choices now. I can either slice the pie if I want. So I clear the 45 left and right. I clear the 90 degree, and now we have a split stack right now. So we can make entry from a split stack right now that we came from a single stack. So now we can literally decide either we're gonna go for a button hook or we're gonna go for a crisscross. So the way we do things in the server is basically this. We do crisscrossing a lot, but most of the time we crisscross when it's a corner fed room. Why? Because in a corner fed room, pretend this is a corner fed and this is a corner fed right side. If you don't know what that means, it means that literally the door is going to be opening on the corner side of the room, and corner fed right means that the room is going to feed to the right side. So the opening basically of the room and the biggest strats are going to be on the right side, because the left side here is going to be just a door and most of the time just a wall there. So if we are doing a corner fed situation from a split stack, we don't even wave our weapons anymore like this to give the signal to the guy. Why? Because you're just wasting your time, right? Because if I wave my weapon like this, like a lot of people do, and we also do this for a specific situation, I'm gonna literally drop security right now as I do this. And could be a guy running in the room right now as I do this to signal my wingman that I'm ready. There's no need for that. Why? Because we came from a single stack already. I sliced the pie already. We know this is a corner fed. At this point right now, I should be ready. I should be ready to make entry. I shouldn't be just wasting time and, hey, Reiner, you're ready? Wave your gun like this. I'm going to go right. You go left and check behind the door for me, please. It means that we should be ready because we committed ourselves, even though we didn't cross a point on no return, we committed ourselves already to slice the pie. The door is open. Maybe I engage a couple of targets already. We know it's a corner fed. The room feeds to the right, so it means that the biggest threats right now are going to be on the right side. That should be addressed first. So which means that Reiner is just going to set his gun either to a high ready or a low ready to give me passageway, and I'm going to take that instantly. So let's do it again, and let's do it proper. Okay, we slice the pie. Now set your gun to a high ready, low ready. I'm just going to make entry on a crisscross. Right, let's just do without energy there, so you can actually run that. Yeah, because I know he's actually complicating your life there. So yeah, pretend that there's just a wall there. This is a corner fat, so you won't be able to actually go to your point of domination on the left side. Yeah, give me your low ready. Nice. So this is literally why we don't ever talk about, I'm going to go right, you're going to go left, because we kind of expect that with the trainings and the TTP that we have, at least for the team, people will know always what to do. And the most important thing is why we don't talk. Say that we are coming from a single stack now, and I decide not to slice the pie. I decide to just make entry instantly. Reiner, being my wingman, is his priority. Like I said, when we were doing the single file formation, you need to adapt to your point man at all times. So I don't need to tell Reiner the direction I'm going to take. I just take it, and let's pretend that this is going to be now a center fed room, Reiner, from a single stack. Yep. There's nothing on the left side. I mean, there is, of course, but it's just a center fed. There's no wall blocking you. You can actually go to your point of domination. So right now, it's my decision. I want to go right to a button hook, or I want to just go straight here and actually, go to the other side, which wouldn't be ideal, because if I do this, I'm gonna have a lot more exposure in my back right now, so it's a lot better to do a button hook. But still, this is gonna be all down to the point man. The point man is always the one who decides to how he wants to make entry in the room, and his wingman, aka the second man, number 2, he's gonna have to adapt to you always. So say that I want for a button hook, I won't tell Reiner. I mean, he should be the one adapting to me, always ready to make entry with me no matter what, and just going the other direction I didn't take.
Yeah, and it's impossible to know that nobody can stand into the door to block all the others. You have to go through.
Yeah, we will talk about commitment, once you cross the point of no return, which is literally the line here in the middle of the threshold. That's called point of no return, which means there's no return. Like everything behind the point of no return here, you can take your time if you need. You can have as many flashbangs as you want. You can slice the pie as many times as you want because you haven't crossed the point of no return yet. You haven't crossed the line of commitment. But by the time I step in, by the time my foot is here, this means that I cross the point of no return. I cannot stop here. I cannot stop in the middle of the threshold, in the middle of the fatal funnel right now. I have to commit. No matter what's happening inside the room right now, could be a guy with a machine gun inside the room. I need to commit because I crossed the point of no return. So if I don't commit right now, my wingman will also get body block. He won't be able to also commit and actually enter. And the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to have multiple casualties. Right, so our efficiency is going to go down the drain. So by the time I cross a point of no return here, this is a line that means that I have to commit. I have to keep moving no matter what's happening inside the room. Because I do see a lot of guys, they cross a point of no return, they're like, oh shit, too many targets, and then they start backing out like this. By the time they do this, they body block his wingman. And chances are both of you are going to get shot. So this is a time that if you cross this line, the point of no return, no matter what kind of threshold you have, could be that door on the left side there. That door almost makes it to a corner fat situation. It doesn't matter. The time you cross that line in the middle of the threshold, which is the point of no return, there is no coming back. You have to commit, either left side, right side, no matter what, but you have to commit and just keep moving, no matter what's happening there. So this is why once you haven't crossed a point on a return, like I always say in this game, we usually don't do like fast-paced CQB in this game, in the server. The reason is there's no hostage rescue yet. I mean, there will be bomb threat situation in 1034 now that we will change a couple of things, but there's no hostage situation yet. So there's literally no rush for you at all to move inside that threshold. There's absolutely no rush in this game. Like I see people always running around, always, chasing targets, always rushing all the time, even like running and gunning. There's absolutely no rush. It's not like in Ready or Not back in the day when you had like hostage situation, active shooter. I think it still happens. I haven't played that in a while. That you have to move fast and then the CQB will change, right? I mean, you won't be wasting time in a stack like this anymore. You're just going to go make entry instantly, expecting that your wingman's going to be with you, as he should be, but you're just going to make entry instantly without wasting your time, sometimes without even slicing the pie. Sometimes just going to open the door and that's it. Flashbang out, go in. You're going to go into the unknown. Why? Because you're dealing with hostage situation. You're dealing with a situation that you cannot wait anymore. But in this game, up until this moment, on the PvE, there's literally and absolutely no reason to rush this. So if you haven't crossed a point on the return yet, you can just hold. You can slice the pie. I slice the pie, and that doesn't mean yet that I have to make entry instantly. It's still my decision as a point man, right? I can still ask for a flashbang now. If we still have, like, say, a third man, a fourth man, I can still now ask for a flashbang, so the third guy can actually squeeze a flashbang in for us, right? So it's important that we understand this. If you haven't crossed the point on the return, there's absolutely no rush in this game. At least the way we operate in the server, right? So there will be a moment with the hostage rescue missions that are going to happen in 1034 eventually. This whole thing will change in PvE missions like that. But up until this point, there's absolutely no rush. So say that we are coming from a single stack, and I decide as a point man to do a button hook, right? I decide to just take and move hook on the right side here. Rhino's priority is going to be literally cross bound over to the left side and secured the left side there. I don't have to say a word to Reiner because he should be paying attention to what the point man is doing at all times, no matter what. So by the time I cross the threshold, Reiner should always just adapt to us, which is the reason why we almost never say like I'm gonna go right, you go left. Third man, you're gonna get inside the room as well, and then you go the direction that the first man went. So we never say this because we expect that once the point man makes entry, the wingman, he will adapt to him, which means he will literally take the direction that the point man didn't take. Because by the time the point man crossed this, even if it's a button hook or he decides just to cross, even on a center fed, he decides just to cross to the other side, Reiner will be able to see this because Reiner, he should be right behind me. So by the time I cross here, he will be able to see the direction I'm going. And if I'm going for a button hook, most of the time, he will be able to see that I move and I did this, which is enough for him to know that, yeah, he's definitely going to just hook right. So I don't need to give Reiner the information that, hey, I'm going to move right, you go left. You go left, you go right, stuff like that. It's because for us, it's just a waste of time. It's something that he should know because he's my wingman. And he can literally see what I'm doing, so he just takes the other direction. Does that answer a bit of the question you had, I think, Fuzzy?
My
Okay.
thing wasn't really about second man, it was more like people who are further down the stack.
So the people further down the stack, I mean, the situation is this. It depends on the room you're talking about. It depends also how big the room you're talking about. And also depends on how many people you have. Say, for example, that the whole team needs to make entry in a big room like this, and we have 4 guys, right? So what we always do in situations like this is basically you're going to follow the principle of every other man go left, every other man go right, or every other man go right, every other man go left, which means basic, simple, that if I'm the third man right now, and then there's a point man in front of Reiner is the second man, say that the point man decided to go right doing a bottom hook, Reiner here, we need to go left, and me being the third man, I'm going to have to go right. Why? Because the man in front of me, he went right or he went left, and I'm always going to take the opposite direction that he took. Right, so no matter what, I'm always going to take the opposite direction that he took. So this is why we have the principle of like left, right, or right, left. So basically, he decided to go left, I'm just going to go right, and vice versa. If I'm the 4th man, 5th man, 6th man, always the man in front of me, the direction that he decided to take, I'm going to just take the opposite direction. So that's about when you make entry in a room. But now, as you make entry in a room, there is a thing that we call points of domination and also limited penetration. But this was actually stuff for other training because this is a little bit more advanced, but I can actually go over the points of domination a little bit. So point of domination, it means that you basically have priorities as you move inside the room, right? There are sectors that you need to clear, hard corners, that every man that makes entry in the room, they need to clear, and then they have to look for work. So say that you make entry in a center fed room with 4 guys, right? So basically, let's pretend, yeah, this is a center fed, but let's pretend that there's gonna be like a wall just next to the right side there, so you're not gonna have to do like a limited penetration. Because a big room like this, in a lot of situations, you're gonna go for a limited penetration because you cannot ride all the way that wall on the right side or the left side, which is gonna form an L shape, right? So basically, if you make entry in a room like this, say from a single stack, and if I can have beige and energy moving with us, and if I can have all you guys inside the warehouse now so you can actually see. Alright, I think he's AFK. Okay, so as you're gonna make entry, we're not gonna go to our points of domination. We're just gonna do a limited penetration, which means that we will stop, not in the threshold of course, but we will stop sometime that will give enough space for the 4 of us to actually get inside the room, scan our sectors, and look for work. So let's go. And yeah,
Nice.
that's it.
Looked good.
So basically, what we just did now was a limited penetration entry, which means that we enter. Yeah, go ahead. We enter the threshold. Pointman, he decided to commit to the right side. That was Reiner. Reiner committed to the right side. He made his way here, and then Reiner, he decided to stop. Why? He cannot go to his point of domination. In this case, point of domination of Reiner would be that wall over there on the right side. But this is way too big for Reiner. And by the time Reiner gets there, he's gonna have a whole new world to be worried about. He's gonna have that hallway over there. He's gonna have the stairs over there. So it's a lot safer and more effective for Reiner to just stop over here. Once the second man made entry, that was energy. He just committed to the left side. He committed to the side that Reiner didn't take, and then knowing also the shape of the room, he scanned his threshold. He basically scanned the room, and then he decided to stop right here, doing a limited penetration without exposing himself to that threshold on the left side hallway over there, if you look at it. So he just decided to stop over here, and then his work was done. I made entry, and I follow where the pointman went. Why? Because the second man, which was energy, he committed to the left side, as a pointman committed to the right side. I basically moved to the right side because the second man decided to go left, so he was the man in front of me. I just took the direction he didn't take. I moved to the right side. I also scanned my threats, right? And then I move here. I stopped, and then I look for work. Basically, I just start turning around. I just start looking for, are there any threats that still need to be taken care of? Maybe my guys, they need assistance. So now I can actually assist them because I also clear my corner. I clear my sector of fire. The fourth man, being Beige, he made entry. He saw that me being the third man, I moved right. Beige saw the 90 degree was clear. He decided to commit to the left side because the man next to him committed to the right. Then he saw that the second man was already there, and he stopped, and he was already looking for work. So Beige just did a limited penetration with him and just stopped over here to not overlap the second man getting from his muzzle. And then he just stopped here, and his work was done. So when you make entry in a room like this, it's always down to the room shape, always down to what you see in the room. It's always down also to how the pointman made that entry in the room. So no matter how many people you have here, you will have to just adapt to what the guys are doing. But honestly, if we're talking about a big warehouse like this, of course, just the four guys wouldn't be enough. So basically, realistically speaking, if we made entry right now, we would just keep moving. I mean, we would stop here for like 5 seconds where Beige, Energy, and Reiner stop, but then we're just gonna keep moving because we're way too exposed. There are windows over there, there are openings over there, So we're just gonna keep moving because this is gonna become other thresholds, right? Hallways and other thresholds that we just have to keep moving. This is not like a normal room that you're gonna see like 4 walls and no doors and just one entry, so the whole thing changes, right?
Here makes
So-
smoke makes a little bit sense here. You can. It's a good place to use smoke. That's yeah.
Yeah, as well. So if we talk about, for example, let's get inside here, and let me get a room here. Yeah, so let me use this one. Yeah, this one is perfect. Okay, so yeah, if all of you can get inside the room and then go all the way to that wall in the back there. Okay, so the 4 of us are gonna make entry in this room, me, Beige, and Energy. And Ryan are gonna make entry in this room again. So for this room, you guys are gonna see that this is a corner fat, right? So by the time we open the door, coming from the right side here, this is a corner fat. Once I open the door, I know, okay, this is a corner fat left side, right? So this room, once we're gonna make entry, we're actually gonna do a point of domination for this room. So basically, the point man, he's gonna have to run 2 walls. So if the point man, he decided to make entry moving to the right side, if the point man decided to make entry moving to the right side, I made a mistake, he's actually gonna run just 1 wall because this is a corner fat. So say that Ryan decided to make entry and move on the right side here. He's gonna either stop right there, or he just stop, or he can actually utilize the furniture here and basically stop right here if needed, if he doesn't have to expose himself too much, right? So that's gonna be his decision, but what's important to know is that Reiner never ever gonna move where you guys are sitting right now. Because that's gonna be literally the sector of fire of most guys, and where most threats are gonna be at most times, and also to avoid any type of crossfire, friendly fire. So let's actually make entry, all of us. Yeah. So, energy made entry. Energy addressed the 90 degree. 90 degree was clear. Energy committed to the threshold. Once he made entry, Energy decided to do almost like a limited penetration. Why? Because there was a furniture right here. He saw that it would be maybe too risky for him to actually overlap this furniture and move over here. So he decided to go for limited penetration and stop right there. Beige, he made entry. Check the 90 degree. 90 degree was clear as he made entry. He cleared his right corner, his left corner here. Check behind the door. Then he rolled the wall until he got to the corner here, and then he looked for work. Why Beige went all the way here? He went all the way here to also avoid any type of crossfire, but also to leave more space for the guys to also operate, because he knew there would be a third guy and also a fourth guy moving inside the room. Reiner being the third man, he made entry. Reiner just decided to stop over here. Basically, he took the direction that Beige didn't take, which was Beige took the left side. Reiner being the third man, he took the right side, the opposite direction. He stopped over here. Why? Because he had not have enough room to operate, because the point man decided to go for limited penetration, so he just had to adapt and stay somewhere close to the point man to avoid, of course, any type of friendly fire, and to also get out of the threshold. Me being the fourth guy, I made entry. I did a center check, cleared the 90 degree, committed to my side. Why? Because Reiner, being the third man, the man in front of me, he committed to the right, so I committed to the left side. I saw the second man was already in position, then I stopped right here to also have the muzzle before flash discipline to avoid any type of crossfire and to get in front of his muzzle. And also, it's important to understand that everything in the 90 degree now, if there are any threats, we can literally engage all you guys right now without actually shooting ourselves. We're not gonna do this, of course, but just to give an example. So basically, all the 90 degree inside this room can literally be cleared by all of us without shooting ourselves. Now, let's pretend that this is gonna be a center fed room. So if this was a center fed room, the only thing that's gonna change when it comes down to limited penetration or points of domination is basically that the point man, he will have to run two walls. He's gonna have to do an L shape inside the center room, inside the center fed. So basically, say this is a center fed and then Energy made entry, decided to commit to the right side, he would have basically, in this room will be kind of impossible, because I mean, if it was a center fed, this would be a lot bigger, but let's pretend that this wall here next to the door is bigger. So he would have to ride this wall here, and then he would ride this wall over here, where he is right now. The second man, being Reiner, he would move inside, and then he would stop somewhere where Beige just stopped right now. The third man would move inside, and then he would stop somewhere over here. The fourth man would stop somewhere over there on my laser. So basically, that whole sector of fire right there, I don't know who the guy is, and I'm flashing my light right now, that's going to be our sector of fire inside a center fed room. So we're going to have an L-shape format here that all of us can literally engage this room without any type of crossfire, friendly fire. So the point of domination thing basically is this: once you make entry in a center fed, the point man, he will always ride at least two walls, because you're gonna have a big wall over here where the door open, and then you're gonna have wall on the right side and wall on the left side, and that's gonna be point man's decision, the direction he took. If he went left side, he will have to ride this wall here and then that wall on my laser over there. But of course, he's not gonna ride that wall all the way to the corner. Why? Because those corners are also the priorities for every man inside the room to clear. So he cannot move all the way to the back there, because he will probably get shot by either the second man or the third man in the room. So you have to know also where to stop to avoid any crossfire, friendly fire. So usually when you ride a wall like this, most of the time the guy will stop somewhere over here. Or he can even move a little bit further, but most of the time you're just gonna stop here because you know that you can have literally a guy at that corner also engaging with you without any type of crossfire and friendly fire. Great questions. I'm not sure if that actually answered your question a little bit. Not yet. Fuzzy? Was it you who asked the question?
Yes.
Does that answer a little bit or still nothing?
Yeah, it does. It basically, the answer is basically it's silent communication and trust rather than having to instruct every single time.
So the instruct everything time we do instruct in the trainees, like we're trying to do now with the showing a bit of the TTP. What I mean is that when you're out there in the field, we don't talk about these things. Why? Because we
Takes too much
expect that the
time.
guy. Yeah, and also because we expect that the guys who know. I mean, if you're working with the team, for example, my guys, I don't talk about this because we train, right? We always do trainings together, so we know what to do. We know that, okay, so this is going to be a center fed. I know exactly what to do in a center fed, no matter what kind of center fed you're talking about. Could be a center fed, this is a corner fed, but pretend this is a center fed and that couch is over there, right? So you will have to adapt to that furniture because, CQB actually, honestly, no place, no house is like this, right? I mean, just look at your house, right? It's not like this. I mean, you have furniture all over. I mean, you have maybe, I don't know, in your room, like the room I'm sitting right now, I mean, the door, there's the wardrobe right next to the door. So the door won't be able to open all the way to the wall. So, you have furniture in real houses. So it's not like this. And even in the game, and I think Ready or Not can actually replicate the CQB a lot better. It's a lot more realistic because the places in Ready or Not, the environment, it's more close to real life with the buildings, objects blocking the door. The door won't open properly. You're gonna have furniture that, if you decide to run two walls, you're gonna run into a fridge or something like this, right, in the kitchen. So it's a lot better than an actual shoot house like this, right? And this game is quite limited for that as well in the missions. But what is important to understand is that once you understand these concepts and everybody in the team knows what to do, no matter what kind of room you're talking about, corner fat, center fat, you will always know what to do. And one thing that I always tell my team is this: most of the time, your gut actually gonna tell you what to do. And most of the time, your gut, just like in other things in life, usually is telling you the right thing. This is why we usually say, I don't know in your cultures, but in mine we always say that we have to follow our gut, right? And there's a reason for that, because usually your gut is telling you something that most of the time is right. Most of the time is actually, yeah, you might have a point there, buddy, right? So a lot of situations you're gonna see yourself making entry in a room like this. And even if you know how to clear the room, sometimes you will have like, okay, this is strange, so what do I do? Just do the first thing that comes to your mind. Even if it's gonna be the wrong thing, we can talk about it later, do a debrief. But once you're out here and you're actually doing the thing, doing the mission, in operation, the guys, it's important that you always commit and you always move to your side, and you never stop no matter what. Even if it's the wrong thing to do. Say that I'm the point man and this is a corner fed, right? This is like a corner fed. I decide to make entry and I do this. This isn't completely wrong, right? I shouldn't be doing this. But instead of having my wingman saying, hey, Rice, what the hell are you doing, man? What the fuck is that? It's a lot better to have my wingman trying to adapt to me. Having my wingman adapting and doing the right thing. Even if both of us get shot, we can talk about it later. But once we are out here and this whole thing is happening, you need to commit to it. Even if you're committing doing the wrong thing, you just have to keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep moving. It's dumb. It's kind of stupid to move in a room like this, I know. But you did it. I mean, now don't stop. Just keep moving. Just keep doing it. At least try to, neutralize the situation a little bit by not moving all the way to the wall there. Maybe find some cover now here, right? But keep committing to it. And your wingman, he will have to move inside and adapt to you. After that, we can do a debrief once the mission's over and say, hey man, about that entry, let's talk about it. But once the mission is happening, we almost never talk about it or try to teach people how to do things, because not only you're wasting your time, but like I said before, I know in this game they don't do this, but yeah, I always try to think that if this game was a lot more realistic, you wouldn't be talking in a stack anyways. Right, because I mean, not only you're wasting time, but also if there are enemies inside, you're literally telling them what you're gonna do, right? If you talk about ready or not, like the guy saying like, yeah, open, flash, and clear. I mean, imagine in real life you're saying something like this, the guy inside like, oh yeah, thank you for letting me know. Or you say like, open, flash, and clear. Hey man, you go right, I'm gonna go left. Let's do a limited penetration. Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thanks for letting
For
me
the
know how you're gonna-
information. Yeah, yeah.
gonna enter this room. And so I know that this is just a game and this has happened, but there's a reason also for that we don't do, which is the waste of time. Right? You're just wasting your time telling people, and this is why we do the trainings. This is why we try to go over these things, you know, the fundamentals, and then run a couple of trainings and see how it goes.
This game is made for this. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great,
So we have
yeah.
situations. Yeah, we have situations in here. I'm almost let me say I kind of wondering when we try to run around non-verbal round. So sometimes it works better. It works better when you're standing on a door and saying, yeah, can you prep a flash, and yeah, things like this. Communication is vital, so yeah, it's okay, but the non-verbal, for me, personally, it's, way better.
Yeah, nice page.
Yeah, that actually ties directly into the point I wanted to bring up, is point man. You can do things well or badly, but you are never wrong. So as the second man, the third man, you're always looking to fill the need, especially with the non-verbal situations. We don't really have time to discuss it when we're entering a live room with a threat, but always look to fill that spot that he can't cover himself. Whatever it is, if it's a corner, if it's a window, whatever it is, just fill the need. And you find that with non-communication, you will look for that opportunity more and you get better and advance as a player.
Yeah, what he said is 100%. The commitment of the point man, I mean, he's never wrong until he is, of course. I mean, you will find out that he's wrong afterwards. And then you can actually talk about it on a debrief, right? But never in the mission, never when you're actually clearing a room, especially when you're down clearing a room. It's just the idea of the point man never being wrong is just like Paige said, the wingman will have to adapt to what the point man is doing, and also it's the decision that the point man made, and it was the right decision. At least at that moment, it was the right decision from the perspective of the point man, the first man inside the room. Because I mean, the idea of the point man never being wrong is that, say that right now, energy at the door there, he's going to be the point man. Once he sees that he's about to make entry and he looks a little bit inside the room, he sees the 90 degree. He is literally the first man through the threshold, through the door, whatever you want to call it. So he's never wrong because he's going to make up his mind at that very moment and he's going to make a decision right there. So he's right, it's his decision, so he's never wrong. He's going to commit to it, follow through, and then the next man will just have to adapt to it. Then, of course, like I said, even if he decided to make an entry and move all the way to the center area of the room, he's not wrong. I mean, he's never wrong for that. It was the right decision, it was the wrong decision. At that moment, it was the right decision. It was his decision. After that, we can actually talk. We can do a debrief. I mean, if the guy survives, of course. But since it's just a game, we get the privilege of actually going back to the radio.
Oh, he's a little bit sick.
Yeah. And we just go back to the ready room and then we talk about it on the debrief. So this is why he's we can do these things very flexible.
He's dead.
Yeah, well,
I have a following question. And with how many people we go into a room maximum? Maximum
So
4? When we are, let's say we are all here are in a squad, and the maximum of a room, maybe this is 4, yeah, of this size.
so in this game, like the room size that we work here, and especially in our team in the server, most of the time is only 2 to 3 people, like 3 people max go inside the rooms. We never have
Okay.
like 4 guys. And honestly, 3 people is already kind of an exaggeration for us because we usually just go with appointment and the wingman, especially in rooms of this size. Of course, in a room of this size, you can literally squeeze 4 people in here easily. But most of the time, and that's down to the max players in the server that we usually run 8 max, right? 8 max players. It means that the only 2 people go inside the room as the other guys are literally pulling security outside. So say you're coming from a hallway like that, so you're gonna have the whole rest of the team holding the hallway, guys watching thresholds. So say that we came from a single file formation, a single stack, with single stack behind energy, we made entry. Energy and a wingman made entry. Basically what the third guy is gonna do now, he's gonna move past the threshold because the guys actually are inside the threshold. He's gonna move past the threshold, right on my laser there, and then he's gonna hold that other side of the hallway, waiting for the boys to clear the room and then come back to us. This is why you never assign roles for us. Why? Because let's have Energy and Reiner moving inside the room, and let's pretend that there's a whole number of people with me so I can actually do this. So I'm gonna have like a 4th guy behind me, so he's gonna pull secure on my back, and I'm gonna just move past. So make entry, guys. So they made entry. I do a quick check just in case if they need help, and then I just be on my way again here, just holding the hallway. But it's important that I move past the doorway right now to keep security in the other side of the hallway. Why? Because eventually they'll have to step out, right? By the time they step out, if I decide to hold security here, they're gonna have to move in front of my muzzle. So say that I'm engaging a target right now, energy is gonna literally move in front of my muzzle. So it's important that I move past the doorway and I hold security from this side here so they can actually literally move in my back as they step out of the room. So this is why we never assign like point man, wingman, because right now I was the 3rd man and now I'm gonna be the point man. And then they're actually gonna come back and rejoin the stack. So the point man is not gonna be the point man anymore because he made entry in the room as a point man, but he came out either as a 2nd man or the 3rd man, depending how many people we have here and depending on what we did outside the threshold. Say that we move like 3 or 4 guys to this side here, they're gonna come back and they're gonna be like the 5th guy, the 6th guy in the stack now. So it's all down to how many people you have, but it's important that if we are only operating in 8 players, like we are mostly in this game, in the server at least, most of the time we only have 2 people making entry, but we never have only 1 person making entry. Never ever we have only 1 guy. It's always point man and a wingman. We always have a 2nd man.
Is it not better when the first man overjumps the door and secures the front, and the 2nd and the 3rd go into the room to secure the security into the front?
Depends on the type of breaching you're gonna do. I mean,
Okay.
most of the time if you're talking about a hallway like this, basically what you're gonna do is this: the 3rd man, you have enough space to actually be somewhere close to the 2nd man and still watch the hallway at the same time. And also the 2nd man, he's not making entry to the point man yet. He's like somewhere behind the point man, so he can still watch a bit of the hallway and provide a bit of security as the
Okay,
point man is literally working that door. So once the point man makes entry, it's gonna be a split-second reaction. That point man go in, 2nd man goes in, 3rd man just overlap and keep security on the hallway.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, it's all down to how many people you have when you make entry, how many guys you use to make entry. So it's all down to that. Most of the time in the server, we always work with 2, like in pairs. Like 2 go inside the room, clear the room, come back. But it's always important to understand this, always have a wingman, no matter what. No matter how small the room is, always have a wingman. A few exceptions like toilets, like very tight toilets, you won't be able to squeeze two guys in there, so just one guy is enough, of course. But most situations, rooms like this, always with a wingman, with a second man. I know that sometimes we feel like, yeah, I can clear this room all by myself, but the idea for the server that when we started is the team play, to always be doing things together at all times, at a slow pace, working together. So we don't like the idea of guys soloing a room, even though I know that most of the time you'll be able to do it. But we just want to keep the efficiency and the team play to the extent of, yeah, everybody works together, you move inside with your wingman, and that's it. Right, questions? Fuzzy? Anybody
No,
else?
thank you.
Does that like help a little bit, Fuzzy, about what
Yep.
you were trying to? So the point here for all this is this: what we do here, it can be different, of course, but like I said before, is what we found out to be, useful for us. We do a lot of nonverbal, but I'm not gonna get into the nonverbal this time, otherwise it's gonna be too much information. So what we're gonna do is this: we're actually gonna do a quick run, and this run's gonna be in an actual map. That's gonna be the tanker map, so we can actually put this all into perspective in the terrace hunt for the tanker. So it's gonna be all of us actually moving down the hallways and then doing some trainings, because the tanker map is the perfect CQB map inside the big structure.
So there's no enemies in here. Charlie team, let's move to the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I think we have to take 3.
Bravo, let's just regroup at the mast.
Where's Charlie?
Charlie is 3rd floor.
Alright, boys, there are no enemies, it's just us.
Great, let's move.
Then floor 4 is ours.
Are we not setting a bad example?
Yep. We can team up on the main staircase in the middle, 3rd floor.
Keep it moving, boys, we're going down. Bravo, we're heading down.
Bravo, you're going down. Escape, and then you see your name and
Okay.
you got another Bravo guy moving to you, Beige.
Gunfire, you're on 3rd floor.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm blocked
what we
here.
gonna do-
Hey, can you squeeze a little bit?
Beige, we said 4, right?
I heard
just
3,
gonna wait
moving
until
back
they-
up. Bravo, anyone who's on me, let's move back up.
Yeah, I guess Reiner is on 3.
Yep. Charlie is on 3.
So, yep, we can start. Let's imagine we're come from the main staircase, just moving up.
So what we're gonna do is this: let's
I can be point man. Mr. Rice said, so when we're in a close team, like 3 guys or 4 guys, maybe 5th or 6th guys, we all stick together. So nobody have to cover the staircase downside or upside. We just move in. So
Are
we
there
take,
enemies there?
No,
Nope.
I was just dumb, sorry.
we
Okay.
we all stick together and try to cover each other angles, as Mr. Rice told before. So we can do a quick sequence, moving up to the kitchen over there. I'll be point man, and you guys try to cover my angles where I'm not able to look at. So just stay close to me and follow me. And when we got stacked, then we can make entry, okay? So, moving. When we're stacked on this door, we have the last guy, yep, already. Carry to 6 o'clock. All right. I'll be point man. Can you prep a flash?
That was good work, guys.
Second.
Obviously, in some circumstances like this, I'm very cautious.
Yes.
Opening in 3, 2, 1. Opening.
Good adapting work there.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yep. Move in.
So, get out.
Yep. Really good.
Right clear.
Who wants to take point this time?
Yep. Copy.
Ozzy?
Okay.
Nice movement. Yep.
Breaching.
Yep. So let me try to find another room, maybe with a corner fed.
Fantastic work. So
Yeah,
that's a perfect
we can do
example
that
of
again
what
on
you
this
Stop,
side.
Stop before making entry. Stop. So
over here where
you
are
open a door. Right
So,
now,
There's
um,
a little bit of
what is
furniture
this?
over
This is
here.
a corner
Let's
fed?
move
You also
from
have
the west
opportunity
side.
to move to a point of domination. So as you come over into this corner
Yeah,
here,
perfect.
continue
So
to move up.
you see a wall on the right. So
I'll be
being
point
a
man.
corner fed,
Just
being a corner
imagine
fed
we
right
have
now,
make entry on this west side.
should you still make an entry first, Winter, or should maybe be Wild?
I'm
right now?
moving.
Because Wild has got a better angle feeding inside the room. He sees a lot.
Second
of
man.
No, boys. Very good, very well played. And Energy, do you have anything to say about this?
Yes, that's
Yeah, try to stick
Yes,
to
that's,
the passive appointment as dumb as it
so
sounds.
that's correct. I mean, most of the time.
Second man. Prep
Stack.
flash.
Flash ready.
Center fads,
Opening.
Bang, bang, bang.
Moving.
Right clear.
Yeah, really nice. Did you have any questions or something like that? Should we do any other sequence again, or did you have any
We can
questions
train.
about movement?
We can train different scenarios. I've played Rainbow Six. I've played SWAT 4. I've watched SWAT videos and CQB videos. I'm good in juice.
Yeah, nice. So the movement you did is very good, and yeah, all the things Mr. Rice said, yeah, you adapt to it. So from my side,
Yeah, we can
no problems.
try some things. Lass machen hier.
Yeah. So what do you think about?
Let's
I mean,
let's clear the complete third floor.
yeah, okay. Should we start from main staircase or west
Yeah,
or east
mostly
side?
mostly we came from
Oh, yeah,
from the staircase. Let's do this.
from main staircase.
Yes. Won't we ignore this stairs to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Okay, I'm take last.
Did somebody lose a flashbang or what was it?
No, I was just trying to pick it up, see if we can pick the grenades.
Okay. So let's move. We do in right side first because we have this light overlap on here. When we take the right side first, we're not exposed to the left side. So this is the reason why we got the right side first, most time in the superstructure, because it builds similar, the levels build similar to each other. So right side is west side, in this case first. So I'm moving. So on this door, we try to make entry on the single stack. I'm first man. I know there's a big room in front of us, so second man can prep a flash.
Flash ready.
Copy.
Flash
Ready.
out.
Or can you keep going? Why?
Moving.
Man, did I just throw smoke? Same. My bad.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, no problem. So, let's proceed. Guy over there, we work on the next open door.
I just created a problem for myself, which is the door here, right?
Stack.
There's a target behind the door.
Copy.
get shot.
Open doors first. So, let's
So you
bypass
can
this
always
door. I'm cutting.
Utilize the environment, and especially doors. They will give you some concealment.
You can pass behind me.
to make
Yeah.
it-
I'm holding position.
I'm point man.
Copy.
So
Yep.
if you guys can do it again and change the order.
Next door.
I'll finish.
On
the
you.
meeting again.
Okay.
Can-
Oh
And
yeah,
go.
I forgot that you're
Moving.
you're translating.
Yeah,
so
that's
nice,
okay.
no
That's
problem.
okay. I'm translating like live, but sometimes
Passing behind.
a little bit more time for explaining.
Can you check the corner over there?
Yeah, no problem.
Holding position. Last. Yep, just check the corner.
Clear.
Copy. Let's move back. On you. Good movement, guys. On you. If you need something, call it out.
Nice job, lads. Amazing.
Okay, can I have a flash?
Good job. So, did everything right there, lads.
You need something?
Made entry.
Yeah, can I have a
clear hard
flash?
Corner.
Copy.
Wingman, you decided to, yeah, you went left.
Ready.
You have to check behind
Opening.
the door. Might be a possible threat. You
Flash goes
addressed
out.
that
3,
instantly,
2, 1.
yeah, that was good, boys.
Last.
Okay, other video we're gonna work is this.
Really nice. So we can work on this door on east side. The other both doors leading to the hallway.
I forgot that we are in a ship, so all starts moving kind of fast.
I go from this side to cover.
I think this.
Yep, that's okay.
Yeah.
Second man, you can prep a flash.
Flash
Opening.
ready. Flash out.
I was fully flashed. I don't know why
Yeah.
I've eaten it.
Me too. This door leads us to the hallway, main hallway again.
So let's work.
So the east side is just left. Moving out.
Okay, let's work this one with the principal.
Moving.
I'm just hearing Rhino right now, so
Yeah, I know it's really tricky.
Stack.
In this
Maybe
case,
we take
Yep.
compound next time so we can.
I'm
spread out
taking
more.
right side. Second man moving left side.
yeah. I will go
Right, guys,
inside.
this time round,
Ignore
I'm
me.
just gonna watch. So it's gonna be a 2-man breach.
Left clear.
Yep. Copy. Last man move. Yep. And again, second man can prep a flash.
So
Opening.
If you want the next man to prep a flash for you like that, and to open the door, give him room to work, and then go for it.
Yeah, I'm not a threat. I'm
Nice.
Clear.
just, innocent.
Yep. Let's move
bystander.
back. Where we come from. Yeah, let's take opposite side first.
I'm covered on the right.
Yep, copy. Passing behind. Moving.
Prep a flash.
Are we set?
1 to 6.
Stack.
Copy. Did you have any flashes? As always, if you have flashes, we can use it. But when we have none, so we
Can
can
hear you.
do clearing a room without using
Okay,
flash.
So 2 things to take.
Opening.
I got one.
If you have a bad flash,
Flash out.
always request for another. Like Rice said, we're not under any major pressure to make entry on the room.
clear. Yeah, nice movement.
So, in the event of a bad flash, if you feel like you need more time,
Yep, let's work on the last door.
when you're setting up on a single stack on a door like
Yeah, last door is opposite. We set.
Okay. Flash ready.
Prep and flash.
Opening.
Flash.
Left clear.
Right clear. Really nice.
Inside. please.
Gunfire and fuzzy, is it right?
Yeah, right. Nice. Pretty low.
Nope.
Oh no, it's
Yeah,
Ghost.
gunfire.
yeah, ghosty. Yeah, okay, nice.
Ghosty, gunfire.
This is the last room. So let's clear the corners over here. I'm taking left side.
You can take your time, get a good look around where the doorway is. Just see what's going on before
Clear.
you make entry. Then,
Clear.
as soon as you
And
find
now
entry,
we have the last
you
room
go ahead, cover his gaps.
on you.
But that's good. I think it's time for a new room.
Yeah, prep a
Prep and
flash.
That was a bridge. I guess.
Opening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect room for it. Good trick.
Oh, fuck, I'm flashed. Clear. I can't hear anything.
Really good job.
It's all clear?
Yep, it's all clear.
Okay. Yeah, so we can join the
Yep,
other
okay.
teams.
Yeah, of course. Really nice. Let me check. You guys running good?
Right,
You asking us?
At which floor are you?
Yeah, we're cleared the whole third floor.
Reiner, if you're done, Beige, are you done or you still have stuff to cover?
Just looking for a center fed now.
Yeah,
Charlie team
no
is
problem.
done.
Reiner, if you can do me a favor, show them plating. You can actually move all the way to the back of the stern there, so you can have enough space. Yeah, show them the plating technique, is also useful.
This would be a perfect
Yep,
plan.
copy.
Same to you, Beige. Once you're done, find a place to show them about plating and then discuss about it.
Yep. So there's another thing, the plating thing. Who's Mr. Rice talking about? We can training that on this corner at the staircase. So the thing about the plating is, if you guys
Can you
imagine,
go a floor higher?
yep,
We could use this floor, I think you. Beige level 3.
Charlie team level 4. Let me try to find.
My whole back is going to be turned to a hallway.
Let me just find a quick spot for it. Yeah, this is okay. So, the plating thing is that thing. The second man try always to stay right as closest to me as he can go. So when we have an open threshold over there, you can see, you can come around the corner and check it over there on northeast side. Yep, this open threshold, and let's imagine we make an entry at this door behind you on the west side. When we came in here, and let me say, just in this case, we have to clear, or I want to clear, the right side first. I mean, I have to check the right side because I can see nobody's over there, but an enemy can appear in this threshold. So about this plating thing is that I'm moving on the right side and try to clear it, moving around. And the second guy, yeah, already, you do it already, try to stay all on my back and yeah, have eyes on this open threshold. So I guess you guys are
And I'm your new
good in shape.
wingman in this point.
The plating thing is the second guy, which is Ghost in this case, tried to stay always with me and always on my back and try to covering always the six. So when I'm moving around the corner and moving a little bit further in this hallway, he just he stay on me. So I'm moving around the corner, he covering my six all the way and we try to stay back on back all the time. It's a little bit hard, but with a little bit training, yeah, it's should be no problem. So
In German it calls Platte geben.
ungefähr. So you can be the point man, and you, yeah. So at your position, you see on your left side there's an open threshold, but you have to check the right side. This is the hard corner on your right side. So I'm the second man, and when you start to moving, I'm plating you. So I will always stay on your back and covering your six. So you can start moving slow. Yep.
Moving.
Let's go. And I try to always stay on your back. So you have different, yeah, we can take this door over here.
In
Beige, how are we looking?
thresholds like this, it makes sense so we
We're just doing a
spread
search,
out
just
to
find
left
that
and
out
right?
now.
Yes.
Copy. If you
Or-
need another
or
center
we
front,
go
there's a bridge
in
here.
one
We are
line.
done here if you need to
Yeah, one
three
line.
places.
One line, not spreading out to
We
left
also-
and
we
right?
found a good room.
No, it's not enough
Reiner?
space.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Rice, what?
Yeah, we are ready.
How are we doing? You finish? Are you on the plating or not yet?
Yep, we're running through the plating. These guys I have with me are good in shape, so yeah, I have not to do a lot of work. Yeah.
Perfect. Once you're done, just let me know.
Yep, we're done. Charlie team is done.
So guys, do you have any questions or?
Copy. Well, you can entertain yourself for now. Okay. We're just gonna take maybe 2 to 5 more minutes.
Okay, let's shoot some windows.
Maybe not. So the other guy is maybe scared out or something like that. So just leave a space for them. But we can join him. You can spectating the other guys, maybe listening what they say.
Yeah.
Yep, you're free to go. You can go upstairs, downstairs, no problem.
Where are they working?
Try to find them.
Let's recreate Titanic.
Say that I'm moving straight and you're somewhere behind me. We come here, and then oops, opening door on the right side there. There are two ways to do this. There's the right way and there is...
So, in this case, of course, we see more of him. He can go in, but he sees more than I, and I will just take it first and prove behind the door.
Charlie team is done, so we're just spectating.
Copy.
Do you mean with crossfire? Yeah, I move in, take it, and then you go just behind it. Get outside one more time. because if I'm looking in this direction and don't see a threat and I give you freeway, I won't shoot because there is no threat at that moment that I would shoot it. So I tell you, take it, and then I will.
You, sorry, let me talk on the proxy.
Understand what I mean? Yeah. Any questions? I guess no. Go over the plating scene then. Our upper floor.
Yep, I can help you.
4 or 5. Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Yep, we do the plating thing over here, energy.
Yeah, I would.
Over here, on your left side, there's an open threshold, but you have to take the right
Corner, the hard corner first. So when you're moving, making entry from that side, maybe
Yeah,
this.
would have just taken the hallway.
Okay,
Since
okay,
we
okay.
Just left.
Yep, okay. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, where are the Bravo and Charlie guys? Have we lost them or?
I'm behind you.
No. Charlie guys are with me. We're done with it. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Then let's
Me
take
and
the-
Frostbite, both of us are Bravo.
Let's train with them. Let's just stack behind them and go.
I guess it's too many.
Rainer,
So
can you assist me once?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let's just pretend we're moving down this hallway and have the threshold on our left.
Copy on you.
The guy that is first is always the guy that has the imminent threat on next. So basically,
Yeah,
since
so right
the
now, as you can
imminent-
see,
the
we are
danger
moving
close
down
threat
this
right now
hallway.
is
Do you hear me,
actually
guys?
to your
Yeah, I hope
right.
so. We're
Winter.
moving down this
You should
hallway
be
and
the
have
one moving first.
open
Why?
area
Because
here where
you're
I
gonna
will
be
just
literally
take
the
a peek
first
in it,
one
and
to keep
you
your
just
eyes
saw
on
Rainer
that.
moving on my right and
As
kept
while
watching
we
this
will
hallway.
keep watching the corner that you're not
That's
watching. So always,
basically the whole
if
plating
the
thing.
threat is close,
I will
the
plate
guy
him
with the
on
closest threat
my left, and
always
he will plate me
gonna
on
be
the
the
front.
one
So
first. So usually the guy holding the corner.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
but I was like saying him.
We can running the sequence again. So just keep in it mind. Make some space. So I'm on energy again. And plating. Yep, ready.
Yeah, if we would have been more guys, you could just have went on our right, and Ryan and I would have taken the room, and you could have just moved past, like Rice told you before, and watch this direction.
Beautiful, boys. Beautiful.
Anything to add, Rainer? Anything I was wrong, or is it good?
No. All good.
So
You guys,
on it, guys.
you got it? If you want, you can do the sequence
Plate it
on
again?
your.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
be doing
okay.
the
So
same thing,
one
but
of
the
you
opposite
can
way.
be the point man, and the second man can be those guys who's plating them, just to keep the sequence in mind. Yep. When you're ready, you can start. Just for the plating sequence.
Right. Let's just do 2 more times and then we
Yep.
you plate.
Looks almost. Can I have the what is energy? Are you on Bravo?
Yeah, we are Bravo.
Yep. The Bravo guys, just quick come with me. we have a threshold on the left side, which is the open door over there on the northeast side, and there's a hard corner on my right side. I know there's an open threshold, no door in there. It could be there could be a possible threat in there or maybe crossing this threshold, but I have the hard corner on my right side. So the plating thing, you can training on this corner as well, because it's another situation. And when I start moving, I have to check the hard corner first, so my right side. And the second guy who stays with me, try to stay always on my back. So we are moving back on back, and you try to covering this 6 o'clock. So let's start moving. Yeah, really nice. And if you want, we can run this sequence again and again. So you can do this on your own. Maybe the plating thing is most time when you're moving with the second man. So the third man is not really involved in this. So yeah, you guys on Bravo team, you can try it if you want. A couple of times, you can switch positions. Yeah. Looks nice, really good.
Yeah, same thing goes for the opening on the captain's office that we just took before the corner fed, so just come with me, guys.
Yep, you can follow.
Right, boys. Our team is done. What about you, Beige? Rainer?
Beige is
Yeah, we're
AFK,
playing a little
but we
bit,
are
yeah.
done. We are just.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep,
Copy.
Charlie is done.
Okay, alright. Let's all move all the way downstairs to the stern area, where... to the back of the ship there.
Copy.
Engine room is blocked. Don't try it. It's blocked.
Ah.
Yeah, move on the exterior. It's all open. Beige, you back?
Minutes. Nice, it can take a few minutes, so yeah. He's gone
okay,
like
no
for
problem.
10 minutes, so yeah.
Okay, lads, do you have any questions? How did it go for you? Anything that you learned here? Anything useful at all? Anything you want to discuss?
No, it was good.
It was useful for 100%?
Yeah, of course.
So, a couple of things before we finish that I want to go over that I didn't talk about. The most important thing about these things that we do is this. Just about plating, just about corner fed rooms, just about center fed rooms. These things, they only work until they don't, right? So, these things, they change out there. And it's all about the environment that you find yourself in. So, there will be situations that you won't be able to apply a specific tactic. For example, I told you that I'm not going to talk about running the rabbit, but if you know what running the rabbit is, for example, you cannot apply to every single corner-fed room the technique of running the rabbit. Why? Because sometimes, if you run the rabbit, you're going to, like I said, you're going to literally run into a furniture, so you won't be able to run the rabbit anymore. Or, even worse, you might have an enemy behind the door that if you run the rabbit, and you literally take the corner of that doorway by running the rabbit, you're gonna get shot in the back, right? So all these techniques, they work and they look good until they don't. So you always have to be able to adapt. This is why you have a TTP that teach that how to adapt to specific situations, just like the plating thing. So the plating, there's one thing that you need to be able to adapt is this. Say that I'm being plated right here, for example, that I have a guy, Reiner, if you can come here. Yeah, just gonna move with me and plate me. I'm gonna just hold this here. So say that I'm being plated, but right now I decide to do things like this. For example, I start flinching a little bit, just like that. So it's important that the guy who's plating me, Reiner in this case, he will have to pay attention to that as well. So he might have to come to a point that he'll need to actually get more spacing for me because he feels that, yeah, I'm starting to flinch a bit. So he gets more spacing that I won't be running into his muzzle. Because if I'm being plated, I have no eyes on what's happening on my back. And that's going to be up to Reiner to control that. So Reiner will be the one who's going to basically have full control of the plating. Because I will be with my eyes focused on those thresholds, on those corners. And I can't stop looking at that, so it's going to be down to Reiner to do it. Yeah, of course, man. If you're still here, because we are almost finished, to be honest. But yeah, chances are we're not gonna be here anymore because I'm almost done.
Yeah, see ya, Frostbite.
But thanks for joining, man. But if you're still here, yeah, of course. And if not, the server's gonna be open anyways.
See ya.
Okay, so last thing is, we talked about looking for work. We talk about plating. We talk about center fat, corner fat, single stack, split stacks, crisscross, button hook. Looking for work is very important for me, especially in the server, and it's something that I stress with my team all the time. You have to look for work. It's the only way to be effective in a squad is if you look for work. Always having that 360-degree coverage, it's very important. And the last thing that's important is always call for last man. If you see a guy holding and he's literally the last man in the stack, always call for last man. Especially if you're passing the guy, right? Say the guy is doing God's work, watching rear security, the squad is moving, I don't know, you're bounding over another building, you have a guy watching 6, if you're the last man, you always call for last man. You're gonna pass him and say last man in, last man set, whatever, but always let that man know that he's the last so he can literally collapse on you. And he's not gonna be by himself there, because I've seen this happening a lot of times in this game, that there was a guy doing God's work, the Lord's work, and then people forgot about him, and the guy was there for 5 minutes.
Yep, very
and
unfortunately.
I congratulate the guy after that, because I said, well, at least you're still holding that. No matter what, you're still like watching that, watching your sector.
He's doing his job.
So he didn't turn around at all. He just kept his gun pointed in that direction, holding. He wasn't like doing this, like a lot of people do. He just trusted his teammates. But yeah, unfortunately, nobody called for last man.
And
but
he
that's
get
not
left
his problem.
behind. Yeah.
But that's somebody else's problem. So somebody else has actually screwed up that they should have called for last man, which was literally the second to last man should have called out that, yeah, last man, let's move. And the other thing about last man that is important to know is that when you're stack, sometimes it's okay to call for last man, like last man in, last man stack, the stack is set, whatever, or set, whatever, because sometimes if you have a lot of people with you, you won't be able to tell exactly when you're stacked, so it's important to the last guy, because he will be literally the last guy in the stack. He take a look, okay, everybody's stacked, good to go. Then you make entry, whatever. But this information is also important to always let the people know that, yeah, you're stacked, last man set. Yeah, no problem, Wild, no problem, Ryan. Actually, we are done here, man. There's not much else for this basic training exercise for me to teach. I mean, if you guys like this, if you guys are on board with this, in the future, I'm planning to do more of these trainings, maybe like even once a week. And we're planning to actually teach more of the, heavy stuff that we have for the team, like doing non-verbals, doing a whole operation without even talking at all, doing like running the rabbit. That's something that we do all the time too. So if you guys like this, and if you guys don't have any questions, that should be all. If you have any feedback as well, something you didn't like.
Before all are going off, I have recorded this evening. Is it okay for all?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's alright. Well, yeah, like we can discuss like about €1,000 and for image and stuff. But yeah.
Okay. No, it's I have to question.
You gotta blur out my face.
Yeah, I'm not wearing balaclava right now, so yeah, that's gonna be €1,000, mate. Yeah, go ahead, man. No worries. So, guys, questions, any feedback, anything you didn't like, anything you want to talk about?
No, it was good and it was fun.
All right, glad to know. Well, sorry about the fundamentals taking too long, but if we continue with these trainings in the future, it's important that we get this out of the way first, so we can actually move to the heavy stuff and to the action stuff.
Yeah, I will try to be here next time.
Yeah, no problem. All right, lads, that's all for me.